What's up, everybody? It's Joe LaPuma. You were watching the Complex Sneakers Podcast. As always, I'm here with my two guys. First off to my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
Here we are.
Feels like it's been a minute.
Yep.
To my left, Mr. Brendan Dunn.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you, Joe?
Well, I'm doing okay.
Just traveling the globe.
No, not really traveling the globe. I was in Vegas for an upcoming shoot. We've been off for 2 weeks, but we're back to business.
Wait.
We're back to business. It's time to.
You got
it's
the
time.
goalkeeper gloves?
We're back to. No, these are not the goalkeeper gloves. You should know.
You're about to hop on a ninja.
I know
You should know what these are.
I know exactly.
You should know what these are. We're back to business.
You got the batting gloves?
Yeah, I have the Rickey Henderson batting gloves, Mizuno. But here's the thing.
Wait,
Here's the thing. Hold on.
We came back with the props
Ken
on.
Golden?
Hold on. Let me just say, we always have to say this PSA. If you're listening to the podcast, go to the YouTube and turn the video on right now.
There's a caveat, though. There's two caveats here.
You look like Method Man right now.
There's two caveats
he looks
here.
like Drake in the, was it Headlines
I'll
music
take
video?
I'll take it. There's two caveats here.
Please.
One, these are not the originals. The original Rickey Henderson had the Mizuno with the M here. You as an aficionado, you stroll in here every other week with Mizunos. You should know this. Rickey Henderson, feel the grip. Okay?
Can I feel the grip, Joe?
Obviously. Coming back, right back to you.
Okay.
Okay, so these are not the original, but
That piece of pine isn't going anywhere when you're gripping with the
Exactly.
Rickey Hendersons.
the Louisville Slugger, I will say, though, when I was little, Brett Schrader had...
Now we're going too
Brett
deep.
Schrader.
Who the hell is
Well,
Brett
we're
Schrader?
going on tangents. Brett Schrader
There's going to be a lot of tangents today.
in the middle, in the front yard of Joey Coglin's house.
Oh, I thought
had a
this was
mini
some- I thought-
had a thin Louisville Slugger, taking practice swings. Let go of the bat. He didn't have these on.
No,
Guess who it
obviously
hit?
not.
Hit right in the head. Right in the head. It hit me in
You?
the head. Yeah.
And do you feel like
Concussion?
No concussion.
Did that
Let it
alter
go
the course
5
of your
yards.
life? Like, do you think that kind of set your thinking sideways in a way?
I mean, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. But hit me in the head with the wooden bat. Just let it go. But two caveats. The Rickey Henderson.
Please do this whole episode with the Rickey Hendersons on.
I'm going to see. It's hot. It's hot in here. I got layers on. But these aren't the original ones. The original ones have the M on them. And I think the logo, there was the
P's?
Yeah. And I've been looking all over for them. Ken Golden. Spike the lens. Ken Golden, if you could help us. But a lot of them have been sold on auction. That's one caveat. The second caveat, after I got these, and shouts to who hit me up on DM. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your name. A listener of the podcast, you know who you are. Sent me the link to Dick's Sporting Goods. That's where I got them.
DSG.
But
Could Dick sponsor us?
I'm here for Dick's.
We'll bring the Dicks in.
Okay.
Could someone clip that? Clip that.
No, not at all.
Okay. The other caveat. I had the idea last night during the Lakers game to try to ID a Nike Air Max 95 that rivaled this colorway.
It goes with them.
That goes with
I
them.
mean, the green is. I'm the colorblind guy, so I don't want to jump out the window too quick. But
those
it's
red?
not. No, I'm confident they're not red.
It's not really.
It's pretty close to the OG neon, right?
It is. But I say that to say
Well, neon is.
Yeah, it's close. Closer to the.
You want to know why?
What?
Because it's neon yellow, not neon green.
Yeah. Okay.
Is this neon green or neon yellow?
Neon green.
Okay.
The shoes. Because I remember back in
Whoa,
the
look
day.
at the yoga pose right now.
Look at it,
Young
back in the
Dal
day,
Sim.
a lot of people used to say that the 95s were neon green, but they're neon yellow.
Imagine this, Joe. Imagine this. Some customer, some teenager walks into the Foot Locker where Welty's working, and he wants his first pair of neon Air Max 95s. You know, maybe he's got his mom with him. She saved up the allowance for him. She pulls out the purse, and he's like, do you have the neon green Air Max 95s? And Welty just he just goes. At that point, do you tell the customer no, or do you give them a history lesson that it's actually neon yellow?
I know. I just go and get the shoes, and then
Go.
might be like the shoes. Actually, I wouldn't be like, well, it's not a well actually.
It is.
I'd say it's crazy because a lot of people mistake it sometimes for green, but it's actually neon yellow.
And here's what I would say. Oh, you want the neon green Air Max 95s? Of course. Here they are. Also, we have the neon green Mizuno batting gloves right on that slab over there. They match perfectly. And little Tommy's walking out.
Joe's also like, oh, you want to run a marathon? These Nike Shox are the best thing for your knees.
And we're getting the Yankees fitted in gray with the New York in another shade of neon. So little Tommy's walking out with the Rickey Henderson gloves, okay? The Air Max 95 OG, neon yellow, in this case, neon green, and he's wearing these.
How many
That's
cases?
just.
How many cases of plantar fasciitis do you
this is
think
good
you started
customer
by
service.
selling people the wrong product just to get commission?
You say it's wrong, I say it's right. Every customer left happy and matching.
Wait, Welty.
Head to toe. But the other caveat before that, I tried to ID Air Max 95s. I'm literally the worst. I can't ID shoes. I'm starting to think of like paying people to do it for me. That's how bad I am. But these matched up pretty good.
You need an intern?
Yeah, I was like, hey, I'm
Be
thinking
careful
of, like,
because you're going to get some requests, some people soliciting.
but I thought like this would be a really cool
That
color
was
scheme.
that was like a true competency test. We had a friend who used to be in the group chat, no longer more.
Who's we? Not
No, with
you and your friends.
yeah, me and my friends. Sorry.
Okay.
With PG, and he had done these like Armenia Air Max 95s ID, and it was the options that were currently available. And someone was like, "Dude, can you make them for me on Nike ID?" And he's like, "Dude, here's the link. Just put the colors. You literally know what the shoes look like. Just put
Yeah, I
the.
can lead you
It's
to
easier
water.
said than done.
It's like a competency.
It's easier
test.
said than done.
If you can't look at a Nike ID that someone made and then figure out how to recreate that through the Nike ID program,
I disagree, but we'll see. Maybe I was distracted. Should I leave them on the whole time though?
Yeah,
look
keep the
fire
gloves
with the
on.
black.
Keep the gloves on.
Okay.
But Welty, I want to go back to something really
Okay.
quick. Maybe we've been down this road before in
Okay.
terms of sneaker selling and your retail pass, but do you feel like you sold people the wrong shoes for the wrong occasions?
no. I'd always try to push people towards the best product. And
So there were certain things that
yes,
it was expected for you to sell these things and tell someone it's good for a 10K or a 5K, but you knew
I would
in your heart
always
of hearts
look
that
out
wasn't
for
the
the
case.
customer's best interest rather than putting the extra $20 in the store's commission. Just like
what were some of those models though? Were there specific things?
like if they were gonna run a significant distance, I would push them more towards like a A6 gel, like 2160, versus a pair of Nike Shocks.
but
because
they wanted you to sell the Shocks. Why?
Well, the Shocks were more
expensive.
More
Got it.
expensive. So some employees at the time would say, or the managers would be like, "Well, the shoe's more money. It's better for our store if you sell it." And I'm like, "Well, if you're selling people the wrong shoes, then you're not really doing a great customer service job, are you?"
Counterpoint, Joe.
Okay. Lance Armstrong over here. Okay.
What do you mean?
All of us are he's that. Were you 16 years old? You knew every 5K, 10K shoe.
We actually at Dick's Sporting Goods, they put us through actual a rigorous training program.
Really?
Real competency test.
Feats of
Yeah.
strength.
No, where they would just teach us all the different. It was like a 2-hour course of like video. You had to sit in the back room and watch.
Was there like a Scantron test afterward to make sure you knew all the shoes well
I
enough?
think there was an actual like a thing, but you had to learn about it.
I didn't know how long was your tenure at Dick's?
Just like a year.
Okay.
Went
I
to
would.
school.
Yeah. But you also have a personal thing against Shocks too.
Shocks are like they're bad for your actual like the way your body functions.
I mean, listen, Asics to me, I don't know. I don't think we had a lot of Asics, but I would do Nike runners.
in
I
terms
wasn't-
of what you're selling to people.
Yeah, I wasn't selling Cortezes to people who were
Forrest
training
Gump
for
strolled
cross
in.
country. You know? Yeah. You had I know you had the little Live Strong. Don't even lie and say
I
you
never
didn't.
did. No, actually, I never did.
You didn't?
No.
Oh,
Did
well,
you
you
have
would
one?
sell that. So when we couldn't sell
I
like
didn't.
when we couldn't sell multiples like cleaners and stuff, the Live Strong bracelets were a multiple, even though they were $1, and it all went to charity. But that was like the multiple, like and.
What do you mean the multiple?
So like if you don't sell socks or cleaners or a hat or anything,
Yeah.
like the Live Strong was at
bracelet,
the
yeah.
register and it'd be like, do you want to donate $1 to charity? And you get the yellow, and like salespeople.
The
would be
little
like,
yellow rubber wristband.
yeah,
Going back on it, that's one of my biggest regrets of kicking myself of not bringing up on this podcast of when we had StockX CEO Scott Cutler on here. I know everyone's saying there's a million things that we should have asked him that we didn't ask.
We did ask him a million
Okay.
things. We hammered him about
No,
the
for
lawsuit
sure.
for 20 minutes straight.
Yeesh.
And he's like
was peppering him.
weaseled his way around it.
Anyways.
He'd be good like White House like press secretary or something like that. But
Have we talked about sneakers once so far?
Yeah, we got some.
Okay.
in the Nike StockX lawsuit, that they brought up Lance Armstrong as a reason why Nike is like a dishonest company for sponsoring him through it all. But little did we know,
that was a weird one.
Scott Cutler tried his hand at the Tour de France, so it maybe feels like he had some sort of personal animus towards Lance Armstrong that he had to throw in that
for compromising the sport that he loves so much.
I had the Tour de Force hat on.
Yeah.
Palace.
Straight out of Italy.
Is the hat straight? It always looks not straight. Is it straight?
This is crooked out of Italy. I don't know, man.
Okay.
By the way, Joe, you mentioned earlier that we were gone for 2 weeks, but that's just a behind-the-scenes thing.
Yes.
We haven't taken any weeks off in a while, but the last episode you heard we recorded early, and after this episode, we are going to take a week off, so this will be a thrilling one. As you could tell, we're going to get real deep on batting gloves and Live Strong bracelets and things like that. But next week we will be off for just one quick week, and then the Complex Sneakers podcast will be back.
And we'll catch up on everything. I feel like it's been kind of like a slow sneaker news week since we've been gone. What do you guys think?
You know what, one thing that I've been excited on lately that I think is a cool story in sneakers that I feel like we should always highlight the chance you get them is I'm a fan of it, but the J-Tips Saucony collaboration seems to be like one of the hotter sneakers of the moment. J-Tips collaborator on Hat Club.
Yeah.
But getting his first sneaker collaboration, they're doing like they did a grassrootsy sort of release around it, lined around a block in New York City, which you don't see that often anymore. I think it's cool that he got a shoe, and there seems to be like a real
people really like that shoe, and it's always good. I think it's always great when like someone gets a chance to collab on a sneaker, and it's like their first big one.
That's what it's. The box itself says J-Tips like first sneaker collab, kind of written in almost like crayon writing.
And I love when like you have your first shot and like people really like it. Our colleague Mike DiStefano came all the way from Philly wearing them today in the office.
Yeah, he's got them on feet. Yeah.
And I know I connect with this a lot. I feel like you can connect with it too. On the side of the J-Tip shoe, there's a little script that says "Remember who fronted," and he put that on his first sneaker collab, and I'm like, I love that.
Wow, and I know you do too. I know. What was the Soulja Boy tweet? Flex on me once, I'll stun on you forever. I think that was it. Yeah.
The packaging is great, and I feel like he's starting to tell a story that's going to be a long one in terms of his work in footwear. It says first shoe as it. You know, you think about the first signature shoes that people have, and it's never called, you know, the Jordan 1 was just called the Air Jordan, right? It wasn't called the Air Jordan 1, but he's already making this mark as in, I'm going to be here for a while. I'm going to be making sneakers that people care about. It's also cool to see Saucony have a big collaboration like that and kind of help diversify what people are into, different models. I don't own that many Sauconys, but I'm excited about these. And maybe we'll even crack the top 10 sneakers of the year. We don't want to get into that yet. We'll get into that in a couple weeks.
The shoe's having a broader release, I feel like this week or next week, where it's going to release at wider places. So we'll see how it all kind of like levels out after all of that, right?
Yeah, it's a very loud shoe. I don't know how much I can personally wear it, but I do like them.
Yeah.
I do
Good
like
job.
them.
Shouts to him.
Yeah.
Maybe we get him on.
Oh yeah, I would love to talk to J-Tips on. He's got a song called "Banned in Portland," and I want to. I want to know.
Listen,
that's the real reason you want to talk.
Listen, he have a ghostwriter. You're the ghostwriter. Banned in Portland. Wow.
I love that.
We need you to do the ad libs.
The industry isn't ready. But by the way, to some extent, I do agree that it's been a slow week in sneaker news, and we'll get to some of that stuff. But it hasn't been so slow because there was one TikTok that really shook the world. And I don't see a lot of TikToks, but this was passed my way, and I stopped dead in my tracks.
I don't know where he's going.
I don't know.
Did you see this?
Is this like a sneaker shopping one?
No.
I think the caption on it was, "What do white guys do for a living?" And it's somebody walking around in New York just asking random white guys where they work.
I know what you're talking about.
Some guy says, "Oh, I'm a banker."
Oh, yes.
I'm a consultant. And who should make an appearance? Our favorite footwear duo.
Okay, the two kings.
Twinning.
They came. What they have did they have the Knicks kith?
Jake and Dylan Pulver.
Yes. Well, they went like the Nike.
We work at Nike.
Okay. I thought he had the Ame Fredo espresso in hand. That's how he said it with the energy.
Yeah.
But those two just strutting in New York City. The Kings are home.
I love it.
Yeah. Shouts to them. Someone sent me that.
Some Long Island legends, not unlike yourself. And I think that sometimes their mother listens to the podcast as well, so shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
Jake and Dylan Pulver, also 2 listeners of the podcast, so
Shouts
we
to them.
appreciate y'all.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Were you upset that there was no New Balance 993 in the AI generated sneaker bed for you to sleep in?
Dude.
Okay, hold on. I know you felt the way. Okay, people were adding me that I was going to sleep in the Air Max 95 bed. Listen, no.
I know.
Okay, did you have a race car bed growing up?
No, I did not have any of that stuff.
Me
But
either.
I know that this caused a little bit of consternation in Brendan Dunn's life.
That's
What?
a big wealthy word, consternation.
Wait, something happened?
Well, I commented on the photo.
I didn't even know
This is how
this.
you know it's a slow sneaker news. We
Yeah,
started
we're
out with the Rickey Henderson batting gloves, and we went straight to
trying.
the
We're trying.
AI-generated
Just hit
sneaker
play
beds.
and enjoy the weekend, baby.
It's a gallery on Instagram that we posted of all these sneaker beds, and you asked Welty if he slept in a race car bed growing up. There's the classic episode of The Simpsons where Milhouse's parents get divorced, and Kirk Van Houten, the Velcro you're hearing right now is Joe unstrapping his Rickey Hendersons.
Yep.
Kirk Van Houten is showing Homer that he has a race car bed, and he asks Homer, "Do you sleep in a race car bed?" And Homer says, "No, I sleep in a big bed with my wife." And I commented that on the photo.
Wow.
I'm always going to try and get in there with the Simpsons reference, and then we have a bunch of people, as you always do, whatever the social media platform, looking for a little bit of attention and trying to dunk on you, and they're like, "What does that have to do with anything?"
People
I
were
sleep
coming
in a bed with your wife.
Wait, people
is your
were-
wife AI generated?
People weren't
I'm
getting
not
the
married,
joke.
by the way. It's a Simpsons reference, yeah. But a lot of my jokes are too deep and
Okay,
too
there's a
heady
lot of
for
layers.
people,
There's
you
a
know?
lot of layers. Look at this Air Max 95 bed. Imagine.
What was worse though, the AI generated beds or the sneaker toilets?
Oh,
Did you see that?
yeah.
It's another AI generated thing.
Literally a shitty post.
Shit posting in the worst way.
If there was a New Balance bed when you were growing up, would you ask?
No,
Stop.
Really?
dude, I had no. That was never.
Water bed?
No, I never had a water bed either. I never had the idea to get a crazy bed as a kid. I don't know.
It's pretty crazy though. These beds.
It's AI.
the
It's
Puma
not
one
real.
looks luxe though.
The Puma one?
Yeah. Isn't it gold?
Isn't there like
What are we
no, it wasn't a
doing?
bed.
No,
I thought
it's fine. It's good.
Isn't there like the big sneaker box? Is that a bed or is that just like there was the big sneaker box that unfolds and like there's shoes in it?
Yeah.
That was like a thing.
I remember
There's that Air Max 95 coffin that was on display at the Brooklyn Museum for a long time.
Wow.
Will you?
Really?
Is that how you want to go out,
No.
Joe?
Oh, I remember that.
No.
No?
I don't remember that. No.
That'd be kind of hot.
No.
Am I
They
bugging?
put you in
Wasn't
the
it-
mausoleum like Logan Roy.
There was a guy who got.
Yeah, I was thinking.
There was a guy
Like that?
Wasn't there a
Just
guy who got
us.
buried in like Air Max 95 coffin? Is that what that's from? I thought that was a thing.
I don't know. I don't know who the guy is you're talking about.
No, I thought it was just like one of those viral pictures online where someone had an actual Air Max 95 coffin. Fresh to death.
Dude, wow. Oh, God, wow.
You put the glove back on?
I did, but let me tell you, it may be good for bunting, swinging freely.
Do they need the? Do they
No
need the,
grip on the laptop, though.
You know, like the North Face gloves with the
I need
the
those.
finger.
Everyone
No,
who
what-
bought me
The
gloves.
ones that so you can use it
Yeah.
like the
Oh,
smart
like
glove.
Gambit from X-Men?
So many Christmases, I got gloves, and they'd be like, "We got you gloves." And
Got
they'd
you
be
the
like,
wrong size?
No, they'd be like, "Don't worry, we got you the fingertips, so you could still text," because they know that.
Oh.
Busy working the phones,
Yeah.
reaching out to sources, lighting up the lines.
Travis Scott's new shoe.
Okay.
Or wearing not. I'm not
No
saying
one
his
knows
shoe.
what it is.
Ah!
There happens to be a backward swoosh on the shoe, so you can say it
industry-
is his shoe.
The industry is stumped. What is it?
What are those?
Is it a Jordan? Is it a new silhouette for Travis? Debuted it at Cannes, I think, on the red carpet for the Idol, the weekend's new show.
It's almost got like an Ashad Ware shape to it a little bit. It looks a little bit like the stance of some of his Nike SB models. Like Welty said, there's a backward swoosh on it. Wax laces, boo. We don't like wax laces.
One of the two worst accessories on a shoe ever.
What's the other?
Well, I guess you could do three or two and put
Let's
half.
hear.
You have wax laces. The other one is the metal aglets on wax laces because every time they just too heavy and the shoe comes untied all the time, and then leather lining on a shoe.
Yeah. I agree with you.
All right. Dennis Dekovic over here.
This Travis Scott sneaker, I'm excited about it. It's unclear what exactly the model is. I feel like the most likely explanation, and I'm not going to pretend like I know anything about it. I don't right now. To me, the most likely thing is it's a new Jordan brand model that they're using Travis Scott to juice it a little bit before the public sees it, so that they have some connection to him to it.
Like the Mac attacks.
Exactly, just
Yeah.
what they did with the Mac attack.
Yeah, with a backward swoosh on it, which it's like, again, I said
It's
this with the
a
Mac
signature
attacks,
at
but
this point, though. But like,
have we seen enough backward swooshes?
you know what I think is one of the best Travis shoes, I feel like really gets swept under the radar?
270?
I know it.
270.
I knew you were
Oh,
going to say that.
you like the
You
Trunner,
like the
though.
270.
I like the Trunner, but that never got released. But looking at all of those models, and maybe I've said it before, it's like a lot of the shoes he's done have been like instant home runs because the model itself has so much power that like it's kind of hard.
Air Jordan 1.
Yeah, hard to screw up. Air Jordan 4.
Yeah.
270,
Although I will say, sorry to interrupt, that first Oilers blue Cactus Jack Jordan 4,
Took a
that
while
was a
for it to-
slow burn. That
It
was a slow burn.
But
Yeah.
it was in
Was a slow
the
burn.
long term, it was the right decision.
Yeah.
And then having Paul Wall on full size run and having that whole Houston conversation with him about it
Yeah.
made me realize how much cooler that shoe is than I even thought it was from the beginning.
I still think that the Air Force Ones Travis Scott did are some of the best. The
Nice.
first ones, with the removable swooshes and the canvas uppers and the piping. I like those a lot.
But the 270, obviously I wouldn't say it's like a beloved shoe, but it's a
No.
popular shoe just like sale units wise.
Yeah.
You mean the original 270?
Yeah, just like you
not
see-
the React.
The
270.
they're still, it's still
You
all
see them
over
everywhere.
the-
And you still do see the reactions. People just wearing them in the
Yeah.
streets, not maybe people who watch the show as much, but just average consumers.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But he did something to that model where it's the reaction to this audience.
Pun intended.
Literally.
The reaction?
Yeah.
The React 270s?
But
anyone?
he did something.
it.
He did something to it, to make it hit with this audience. I think he did good on it personally.
Those shoes, his 270s, I have them. They're really big.
Really?
Yeah, like it's a little different than
Thick
Yeah,
QCs.
yeah.
The best part about that shoe actually was that Brendan Dunn got to interview Mick Foley himself.
I know you don't like that one. I like it though.
You like what?
That it's like you don't. You thought it was tough, but getting a Mick Foley interview about sneakers is all. That's the only thing I want to do in this industry.
Yeah. We'll say interview. It was a email interview with
Oh, okay.
Mick Foley that a PR
Did he do the
person
Dude
helped
Love dance?
facilitate. What
The
is
dude
that?
love dance.
What is that?
He used to do this dance. He was
Yeah.
dude love. Yeah. I love that was one I was excited about. I
Who's
know
your,
that
who's your favorite Mick Foley character? Cactus Jack?
Mr. Sacco, Mankind. I had in school. I had
Yeah. Well, you took the Rickey
you know
Hendersons
Mr.
off to
Yeah,
put the
of
sock
course.
on your hand?
yeah. yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you, Joe? Do you did
I'm
double
doing this for the
pointing at me
camera.
with the
I'm
Rickey
doing this for the
Hendersons?
camera.
Oh my god.
It looked great. I wore black.
It looks cool. It
Oh,
looks
thank
cool.
you.
I can't even lie. Do you like the new Travis Scott model?
It's hard to tell, right?
Hard to tell. They like I was saying before.
Mm-hmm.
He perfectly planned to like drape the pants over it. So we zoomed.
It's
You
just
know,
like
the
it's
whole sneaker blogosphere was zooming in on Getty, and none of us could tell what it is.
Just like that
so they,
Drake like courtside shoe that were like you can't tell with the zoom whatever.
Yeah.
The Jason Kidd looking shoe. You couldn't really tell what it looked like because you're like, is it a mule? You never know.
But I will say, and this isn't breaking news or anything that's not known. When he does something in footwear, I like it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It feels like those Kanye moments a little bit.
Yeah. And
Like-
there's also that Utopia version of his Air Jordan 1
Yeah.
low.
Yeah. Just seeing it yesterday, and again, this isn't a surprise to anyone, but like just the amount of like chatter and the amount of how much people are posting about it and trying to figure it out. He's like the needle mover for real, for real. It reminds me of celebrity sneaker stalker days where like Kanye would pop out in something. You're like, what are these? But yeah, so interested to see what those are and wondering how much of a slow burn it's going to be like the Mac attack.
Yeah. By
When's
the
it-
way, Welty mentioned mules. There's one mule shoe coming up. Joe, did you see this? That Supreme
did.
is working on a Clogposite?
I did.
Are you
Saw that.
are you into that?
According to our friend Edison, Clogposite.
That's a deep reference, but yes.
So I wouldn't wear those. I'm wearing the Fear of God Birkenstocks all summer. So those are going to be like my clog type of.
Okay, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm sure Welty will immediately shut it down and say that's a shoe Brendan Dunn will never
No,
wear.
I can picture you wearing it.
Really? You're giving me the green light on
It's like
Supreme?
big like painter pants vibe with the
Go ahead.
Supreme Clogposite.
Paint the whole picture
Okay,
for
paint
me.
the picture
Yeah, maybe Carhartt beanie.
Okay,
in the summer.
I don't own any Carhartt.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a beanie.
I have a couple beanies.
Okay.
I don't own any Painter pants.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Interesting.
I feel like Supreme's work lately has been more exciting when it's on these weirdo models versus the very obvious and easy ones. There's some dunks they've done that I've liked. There's
The
some
Rommel
Jordan-
Z one's going to be a big
Yeah.
success for the brand. It hasn't come out yet, but
I saw
I'm
those
super
in
excited
person.
for that. You did?
Yeah, Yankee Kicks.
I like those a lot. I
You know,
need that.
I'm so mad that I finally put together the pieces that you did Daddy Yankee
Yes.
at Yankee Kicks, but it's not obviously not his store.
people were saying like, it's cool that he did it at the store that he owns. That store, you guys, if you're ever in Miami, you should
Yeah,
definitely
okay.
How many pairs of the socks do you have now, Joe?
Let me tell you, this is not exaggeration. They probably gave me 40 pairs of socks. Shouts to Yankee Kicks for the socks.
Are you wearing Yankee Kick socks right now?
No,
You about to become a sneaker
I
leaker
gave,
like me.
I gave Alejandro a bunch.
Are you going to wear the Yankee Kick socks
I have.
with all your early pairs and just...
No, I have worn the olive Yankee Kick socks with my Cortez olive 95.
Think about it, though. This is
And
like
they gave me a Tiffany pair.
Breaking.
I'm not going to
breaking
do
news.
that.
This is a real...
But he asked if I wore
This is
them.
a
I
real-
did.
breaking
This is a real opportunity for you. Think about this, though. You become the Yankee Kicks model, right? You become the
love
honor.
this.
They would have to.
But I'm saying, but you get the calves included with the Yankee Kicks
Yes.
socks and the new shoes. He just ships everything to you, and you become the on foot model.
Got a gray psych to shoot it on.
Yeah, they'd have to switch the strategy. They have to go 3/4 length leg instead of just don't. Do they
Yeah.
show a calf? Do they show a calf in those? No. No.
Supreme Clogposite. I don't know what they look like, but I'm looking forward to it. Also, eggplant foam posite retro. It's a rumor going around.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm into that.
Galaxy foam posit.
I'm looking forward
eggplant
to a
foam.
big foam.
Okay.
A big foam.
What
moment.
if-
a big
what-
foam it?
Oh,
Don't miss
wow.
out. You'll have FOMO.
Hey.
What if
Spike the lens?
Help
what
me.
if the
God help us all.
the Supreme Clogposite is the Supreme Foam Posit, but in a Clogposite?
I don't want that.
That would look weird.
Yeah.
On a low.
We need
Did you
something
have
more
those
than
the
that.
Supreme Foams?
I have.
You ever wear them?
No, I have worn them. Black and gold. I have.
I hit on the black pair, I think, just on the
And you
Supreme
sold
website. Yeah, I sold them years later. I used to have such good luck hitting manually on the Supreme website. I don't try and buy stuff on there too much anymore, but I had a really good batting average. Just Supreme Air Jordan, Supreme Dunks. Yeah, batting average, not unlike Rickey Henderson with the Mizunos on.
These aren't the real.
I mean, that might be another money opportunity
Can
for
you
you.
hit the people at Mizuno? I know that you have connections.
I've heard,
Let's bring back these, but the original ones with the M.
pretty
Look, I'm
t-
modeling.
pretty
This
pretty
is not,
tough.
This is not even an ad.
Pretty tough brand to get all the
I have the
pieces.
story about getting hit in the head. Who needs,
Shoot a little short
You can
video.
also also talk to your good friend and also friend of ours, friend of the pod,
I'll be the judge of that.
Mr. Ronnie Feig.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes.
You know, Kith is the exclusive retailer of Mizuno sports style in the United States, so I'm assuming he has a pretty good connection to Mizuno. So if you
Okay.
want to send a text to Ronnie,
Okay.
maybe he can make it happen for
Good
you.
to know.
We do know somebody who tried to make that happen at one point, but that's all we'll say about that, right?
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, that's all we'll say about that. They know who they are,
And they're smart.
and
They're-
we're sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we appreciate them.
and we tip the hat to them literally.
Yes, absolutely. Should we talk about the shoes we have
Yeah.
on feet so we can talk about sneakers very briefly?
We've been talking about sneakers.
in this
We're
glove,
weaving it in.
glove
Yeah.
podcast we have today.
You got 'em.
Yes.
I am wearing the unheard of Adidas Rivalry Low from my dear friend Phil. Doing it big for Cincinnati today. This is a shoe with a lot of meaning behind it, and you'll know more about the meaning soon via a piece coming to complex.com. But look at that suede. You see how hairy that suede is?
Very hairy.
A lot of
and,
details.
and Phil, let me tell you, he took his time lacing those up. The
I
call time,
wanted to do it right.
call time was 10:30. We almost missed it meticulously.
Also in the same
10:38. I was
Yeah,
still crisscrossing
10:38.
them.
He was
Didn't want to.
He was the third of the way up. I said, all right, we got,
shoe in a similar vein of another recent sneaker moment via friend of ours as well,
Where are we going? Do you know where we're going?
Jim Jones.
Jones. Yeah.
The
Capo?
the sneakers and stuff, Adidas Harlem or HRLM, not Harlem.
Because they can't actually use the word Harlem.
Yeah, and there's also an actual Adidas Harlem shoe. The new Adidas Harlems have that sole on it, but the other one has much more of like a court tennis look to it. But real similar to the original. But the one and only Capo, Jim Jones.
Shouts to Capo. First ever episode of Sneaker Shopping. To me, my favorite episode of FSR.
Thank you.
It's a classic. Go watch those.
Thank you, Joe.
I'm doing the Denham Air Max
Great shoes.
95s.
To go with the,
Do I even have to do it? Okay.
What kind of socks are those?
Stussy. You thought they were Yankee kicks?
No, I didn't know. I just saw that there was the color at the top. I didn't know what it was.
Listen, we'll do the color correction so that these perfectly match, even though he says neon yellow.
even though it's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie.
What about you?
Shout out June Sanders. These are the DTLR 2002 R. Virginia's for lovers pair. So shout out everyone in Virginia.
You making a trip down there this summer?
Ain't shit to do but cook.
Okay.
Anyways, I was gonna make a joke that you were asking Brendan how to hit manually. You said your batting average is pretty good. What about if you make a pair of batting gloves for sneaker copping?
Well, let me tell you, this is not because this is not.
You don't have the dexterity.
No,
that enhances the speed of the live cop.
Oh, that could be good. A pair of gloves that's it has all the tactility you need to sail through the captchas.
Just
put those things in cart as quick as possible.
How to make something so cool, so nerdy in one episode. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to leave you out, but him and I will be going somewhere. Not together, but we will be in the same spot.
Don't worry, kebabs aren't involved.
It's not, okay?
It's not.
I don't want you to feel
grilled
like you're
meats
left out.
situation.
I don't want you to feel like you're left
there
out.
might be some grilled meats, but
maybe.
not necessarily.
Hopefully some chicken tenders. But
a little mini Junior's cheesecake.
Forget it. Some sliders. But I don't want you to feel left out because it was not planned and we're not going together. But
serendipitous. It just happened to happen.
We will be taking it back to 1999, him and I. Blink 182 concert at the Barclays.
Oh, wow.
Do you feel FOMO or you couldn't get
I mean, I guess.
You could not. What concert would it take you?
Totally nonplussed.
What concert would it take
I mean,
you to go to?
I listen to Blink 182 all the time.
All the time now in 2023?
Yeah, I mean, you could hear it playing at the CrossFit affiliate.
The local box?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're going tomorrow. I may pull up in the Tailwind 4's big 1999 shoe.
So, Joe was texting us thinking about 1999 and trying to get back in that mindset of where your life was at back then. And you were trying to think about the shoes you were wearing. I don't really have any fond memories or many memories of all of what my footwear was back then. I'd be lying if I said it was anything important to me at the time. I was very focused back then probably on Dragon Ball Z t-shirts and Pokemon trading cards. But Joe, do you remember the sneakers you were wearing when Blink 182 was at its peak in your childhood, in your adolescence, in your teenage years?
And we've talked about it before, but I just remember Blink 182 hitting at the time when I got the first job at the Finish Line, and it was really the first pairs of sneakers that I was buying consistently, where with the uniform you were changing out. Mm-hmm. And I remember, again, we've talked about this, but Zoom Citizen, my first day of work to match the blue T-shirt was the Air Zoom Citizen, something a shoe that I always hope comes back. We see the shoes on East Bay Archive, things like that. That was my first pair of shoes that I wore the first day of Finish Line. But some other ones, classics that more obscure, Nike Air Turbulence, another running shoe that I was into. But the Tailwind 4 was the shoe. Do you guys remember the Tailwind 4?
I know what it is.
Yeah, so
I don't remember it I wasn't, again, cognizant of it back then.
I feel like it was $150, and it was where the Citizen was cheaper and the Turbulence was cheaper. The people at the Finish Line, my friends who I was working with in 1999, if you were flexing, it was the Tailwind 4, which is a great era for Nike running. But you said...
Tailwind 4 also a big Australia shoe, the Jailwinds, right?
Yeah.
Really? What's that?
I just think it's a popular cult shoe there for dodgy characters.
Also Asics, really big.
Really?
But super technical.
Okay.
Asics Kinsei or Kayano 20 something.
I've never been to Australia. Hopefully we'll make it out there soon.
Me either.
Podcast World Tour.
Do you remember like in 1999 the shoes?
Probably just like generic Nike models. Like at the time, like I mean, I just had like random like Nike like cross trainers that I don't know. No, I don't know what the shoes are called.
Cross trainers not realizing you'd be doing CrossFit decades later.
I know. But I just like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
But didn't you bring up the Superstore 2G?
Yeah. Well, it's not 1999, but
Oh,
2000.
okay. Well, all the
99,
small, all the small
2000.
things
Cash
were
money.
in 2000
these,
too.
these are small things.
Yeah.
They're small
Cash money for the
differences.
99 and 2000.
Yellow,
Yeah.
green, what's it, neon yellow.
A lot of memories.
Well,
But we will be there. We will be there.
at the Barclays Center,
We'll FaceTime you.
singing
I know.
along to all our favorite Blink-182 songs.
Yes.
Do you have the fit planned? Or
I don't.
We haven't thought that far ahead.
I don't have the fit, but yeah. So 2/3 of us will be there.
Were you planning ever to go to the show they were going to do at the Garden?
No.
Oh, we got to speak about one Garden legend who's retiring.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony.
You like that transition?
That was good.
I found that.
That
I
was
found
good.
it.
Listen, hold on. Nope.
Yep. Just putting the batting
Gotta
gloves
do it
back
with the
on.
batting gloves.
Oh my god.
Listen. 3 to the dome.
There you go.
One of the coolest photos ever behind the scenes of sneaker shopping is Carmelo Anthony. We shot it in Chicago. He's on the phone. He has the LV sunglasses. We're going to put it in this episode. To me, it's like, you know how where you guys always say, like, you remember photos?
Mm-hmm.
That photo is etched in my mind where just like one of the cool, he was just so cool. A lot of sneaker history. I think none bigger. What do you think was like his biggest sneaker moment?
Twos.
What,
The Nuggets
Denver
twos?
Nuggets
Yeah.
Air Jordan 2?
Yeah.
But we thought about that red Jordan
Dude,
11
The
PE.
red Air Jordan 11, I think he first wore it in 2014. It was a shoe that came out years later. To me, that really set the tone in terms of unreleased Air Jordan 11s. There were so few of them at that point in time, and just seeing a Jordan 11 like that in all red, and I feel like there were a lot of quote-unquote sample pairs, that were probably fake floating around for years off the strength of that. But seeing that red Jordan 11 from Melo really stuck out. And I think that quietly he has some of the best Air Jordan player exclusives that are out there.
Definitely. And the Jordan 9s he's had. One of the coolest ball players that I think of our generation. Syracuse beating UConn back in the day.
That hurt your heart a little bit?
Yeah, but it's him, so he's him. So he gets a pass.
Forgiven?
Yeah, he's him.
I have a funny, I think that, maybe I spoke about this on here before, but it would have been a long time ago. I think that the Jordan Melo M9 launch was probably the first real sneaker launch event I went to here in New York. I want to say it was in 2012 at Cipriani's downtown.
Oh.
And I remember.
Jobby posted about that.
Is that right?
Yesterday, that it was a Cipriani
Joe's
event.
taking the
Yeah, I'm
gloves
sorry,
back
guys,
off.
but
There's a lot of ASMR this
I know.
with the Velcro.
I know.
For the Jordan Melo M9. It was the first time I met Dallas Penn in person.
Oh wow, what
Also,
a
the infamous moment where PJ Tucker had a pair of Air Jordan 5s, which are PRFC, Puerto Rico Football
Yeah.
Club.
That white and orange pair, right?
Yeah, a lower league football club that Melo is a part owner in.
Yeah.
And I think they only made a couple pairs of them. And
Yeah.
then there was like the infamous back and forth, like when Melo's like, dude, did you steal my shoes, basically?
also
So how
shouts.
do you have those?
Yeah.
Also
Bro, how do you have those, I think was the...
Yeah.
Also shouts to Melo. Complex history. Tommy Campos shouts to him. He pointed it out yesterday on IG. Jordan fedora on the cover of Complex. Melo wore a Jordan fedora on the cover of Complex, and the buyer's guide, he was on the cover of that. I think that, I want to say that was like 05, 06. If I'm wrong.
Did you buy the fedora back then?
I didn't buy the fedora, but I remember.
Out there looking like Tony Moy?
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
If there's anybody who needs a Jordan fedora, it's our friend Tony.
He can pull it off. And the Melo Buyer's Guide special issue that we used to do, I think that was one of the first issues I was around for as an intern. So,
Fond memories?
yeah. Absolutely.
Remember he challenged Fat Joe to a sneaker battle on ESPN's It's the Shoes, and he's like, I got something you don't have. But he like broke out like his just PE version of his on-court performance shoe for
I don't
All-Star
remember that.
Weekend.
Yeah, it was a gold pair, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't what people were expecting.
Well, I know, but still, that's something that means a lot in a sneaker battle if you have your own line of shoes with Air Jordan. Granted, Fat Joe has done a lot to get his own sneakers with Nike and Jordan in ways that weren't totally above board, but still, I'll tip my Jordan fedora to Melo. Like,
of course,
I'll put it at a little
do like the milady.
Yeah, shouts to Melo. Great career. Had MSG on tilt so many times.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about a cold wall Nike Air Max TNs.
I'm in. You get the white? You getting white?
I'll do white, you do black.
That's it.
You know what? Do a little fist bump.
Yep. You want me to do it with the glove?
Yeah, put the glove back on. We'll do the fist bump again. I know Welty's not impressed by these shoes.
So I like a cold wall. I like Air Max TNs. To me, it's just like you do an all black and an all white shoe. We've seen that like playbook like 1,000 times before, and I've gone on the record saying, for the most part, that's to me like the most boring thing you could do in a sneaker collaboration.
You're not into it?
No.
Leather TNs?
It just
definite.
we don't need like
Joe,
I've seen enough.
What you said? We don't need
the world.
Okay, because your co-hosts on this show absolutely need those.
Yeah, and that's why you're not
the
going
world.
to
The world.
82.
The world minus 2. We've just seen enough of this whole like CDG like playbook of doing an all black and an all white shoe.
Direct shot at me. It's okay.
Just seen enough of it. Do something a little more.
You
a
gotta look at
cold
him
wall
if
has
you're
done
taking
like some
shots at
pretty,
him.
some pretty cool stuff, including the Vomero.
Yeah.
Even though people love it or hate it with the fucking big block on the back.
I like it.
And the
Air Force Ones?
No, they did like, is it called polarized?
The Air Force Ones are great.
Solarized.
Yeah.
The dip dyed pair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super cool.
And the
Air Force Ones are
Come
great
on,
too.
Don't
Super
forget about
cool.
the Air Force Ones.
But I think they could squeeze the creative juices a little harder. Our friend
I
Samuel
like
Ross.
a simple shoe sometimes. I don't think you need a million flowers and pieces of embroidery
do you
and
need it as a
different
collab?
colored panels. Even if it weren't a collab, I'd be into it. You remember
Okay,
how
that's
big I
what I'm
was
saying.
on the Scarab Air Max TN last year? I was the only person in the world caping for those. It was the world -1.
You know me. I'm totally fine with that. Like I'm fine with like.
Dude, a black leather TN like that?
You doing the triple white?
No, I can't do the triple white. My boy can though.
Yeah, we'll
And
be
he
there.
will.
Twinning, like
One-
Jake and Dylan.
One thing I want to talk. Maybe we'll FaceTime him on the spot.
Oh, be careful. Last time we tried to face someone, the legal department lost their mind. So be
And-
careful.
And also, if I have seen these and I'm just not aware of them, and then correct me. What were those Maniére Air Force Ones that PG posted?
Those were just there. It was
Hand wash cold.
Like, yes, I was gonna say.
What were I
They
have
came out a few years ago.
There was a retail version and then a friends and family version as well. It definitely was a little curious that your friend Paul Givalecki and had a ton of the friends and family pairs randomly years later.
Yeah.
Did you ask him about those? Do you know the source of
He's explained it all. I just can't put it out there.
anything? Is it interesting?
I mean, it's probably what we can't put this in.
Okay.
But they were like, it was kind of like dusty suede almost.
Uh,
Looking at the photo,
I think it's meant to resemble almost like the oil slick, where it's.
They smell really good.
I almost hit him up for those. Not gonna lie.
I'm sure you have a pair somewhere.
I don't think I do though.
Okay.
I don't think I do. But apparently he sold the whole group pretty quick.
Yeah.
Those are great. I don't remember.
I'll bring my
those.
pair so you can.
You
can
have it?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know if I have the friends and family version.
Those
yeah,
look really good.
they're around.
Talk about this real quick. I guess it caused a bit discussion on the internet via friends and family or unreleased shoes. Because there was someone wearing a fake pair of.
I was gonna make a hold on. I was gonna make a joke when you said caused a bit of discussion on the internet,
AKA
where I was
his-
like,
his
dude, when
Twitter.
you say the internet, like the
Twitter.
entirety of Al Gore's internet,
His Twitter.
Do you mean
sneaker Twitter?
like what do you mean by? Do you mean the whole internet? Do you mean just people who are into sneakers on the internet? Do you mean people who are into sneakers on Twitter, or do you just mean your own timeline where you tweeted about the shoes?
Where you?
Oh no,
started
it was posted on a bunch of those like sneaker accounts. I don't know. Caused a bit of discussion.
Okay, because this is the weekly Welty
Yes.
tweet
Yeah, it caused a bit of
section.
discussion. I don't know.
Explain.
Topic.
Explain.
Someone was
Okay.
wearing a fake pair of the unreleased or never to be released off-white Air Jordan 4s.
Beautiful shoe.
Amazing
The
shoe.
real version.
Yeah,
is a
yeah.
beautiful one.
Yes.
In Arthur Carr our friend,
Yeah.
has them, and people thought he had a fake pair on, right? Or
Well,
they
he
thought
told the story that
Shannon Abloh was wearing them.
He
and
told the
people-
story on this podcast.
Go back and listen to it.
Go back. It's a really good
But
episode.
I guess it just
Maybe
caused.
better than this one.
There's the whole. I know
I
we've
like
had the discussion on here about fake shoes before.
Have
like,
we?
I believe we've talked about. There's an episode. You go watch it. I think, is it okay to wear fakes?
Right,
Is the-
right,
is
right.
The title.
Which, yes,
No, not yes, no.
that's the title.
Do you think it's, I guess, I don't know.
But
There's
the
some-
answer is no.
I didn't realize that there's just this whole world of people who are super pro reps or fake shoes
But you didn't-
online.
That was the feedback we got when we put that episode out.
Yeah, there's
because there's people are saying because the quality of reps are rivaling the actual quality. That's what a lot of comments were saying.
But I think that there's a difference between, and I'm not like being pro fakes or whatever, and I'm not like here to like try and roast everyone in the world who's wearing fakes either at the same time. But there's certain shoes out there where it's like there's only a handful of them made and they were only meant to be for a special or certain occasion or whatever. And it's not like being sneaker elitist. It's just like there's like a one of one shoe, and it's like that shoe has some sort of meaning to it beyond it just being a one of one, and it's like I just don't think that everyone in the world is entitled to like be able to own
Yes.
these like limited pieces of art and like try to like pass them off as real. I know people are like, oh, maybe I'm not trying to pass off as real, but I don't know. I feel like if you go out of your way to buy a replica Red October or Nike Mag or whatever, you're like going out into society with the intent of people like oogling you or whatever that you have these shoes on. And a lot of people will try to say that I'm just wearing them for myself, but I feel like when you put on something like that and walk out into the world, you're doing it with the intent of people being like, oh my God, look what you have on your feet.
Which is totally fine. We all do that.
Yes, which is totally fine. But then it's like, I'm not trying to like slam dunk on these people or whatever. It's just like, it just seems a little funky to me to like try and walk around the world like you're wearing a pair of Nike Mags, which the reason why you like them is because it's like a $30,000.
Part of the reason, at
Do we
least.
see that
Yeah.
a lot though? Fake Nike Mags?
Maybe not fake Nike Mags.
Okay.
Sorry, that's just that's
Okay.
that's just an
Red
example.
October is way
but,
more so.
But like these like Grail level iconic sneakers that are pigeon dunks or whatever, and it's like, oh, well, I have a fake pair. It's like, well, because I don't want to pay $50,000 for the real ones, and like I totally get it. But then maybe it's just something you just never own. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's cool too.
I agree with you wholeheartedly, and we come from a place of privilege on this because we have more access to sneakers
sure.
than most, but still there are tons of sneakers that I would like to own that I never will, and I'm okay with that because again, I don't think that everybody is entitled to have all the things they want in the world, whether it's a limited edition pair of sneakers or not. And it's totally fine that there are some shoes that are completely inaccessible to you at this point. I would love a pair of Pigeon Dunks. As a teenager, it was a super important thing to me. It's something that I lusted after for many years. That being said, I'm still never, ever going to go buy a fake pair of them. I'm just going to accept the fact that it's this mythical thing that exists that I can't quite grasp. And that's fine. Like, you don't need every limited shoe that ever released. The Off-White Futura Dunks that just went up via auction. We went and saw those in person, and they look incredible, and the details are beautiful, but there's only 8 pairs that they auction off, and I'm never going to own a pair. That's fine.
It just, I don't know. It would just feel like to me that I was just like faking the funk so much, and I wouldn't get like the same. Not because the shoe's worth a lot of money. I just wouldn't have.
You mean
this,
if you had a fake pair of
Yeah, I just wouldn't have the
black and red
same
Off-White
like
Jordan 4s.
internal satisfaction
Yeah.
of like being like, man, I finally achieved this. I finally got this. If I
Yeah.
just like went and had.
And that's part of the enjoyment too,
Not
is
the
the
real
hunt
hunt.
for it,
Yeah.
versus just being able to go on DHgate and spend $200 to get a
Or
replica
50, 60
pair.
bucks. I think I put out that like, oh, spend $200 once on a pair of fakes, and people are like, what? They're like, what fakes are $200? Reps are only like $70, and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know that.
Yeah, we're not. We should maybe on a future episode here we should buy some and
See if they pass the camera test.
yeah,
Would
we should do a smell
would
test
you
at
ever,
least.
if there was like some sort of mythical shoe out in the universe where, I don't know, for whatever reason, that is your favorite shoe, but there's no reality of you ever owning it, would you go out and get a pair of fakes and be personally satisfied with owning them?
Probably not, but I don't judge people who, if it comes close enough for them, I'm not judging them. It was never a debate that I was really that passionate about, I would say.
The fake sneakers one?
Well, or even if I'm not doing it, just
But you personally would never do it.
I don't no.
You wouldn't get the same sort of like.
I don't think so.
Thrill out of it?
I don't think I would never do it, and I don't think I would get the same satisfaction. But I also have zero kind of feelings towards someone who, if they did and knew it and still got satisfaction, I have
More power to them.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
I know that's like different from maybe
No,
you
I know
guys,
what
but
you
like
mean. I know what
I
you
never.
It's like out of sight, out of mind. Like live and let live sort of situation.
Yeah, I think that there's some sort of nuance if like they're really trying to flex it in a over the top
Say it's like
way.
it's
You
like
go
a
to sneaker con with
if
them.
it's like
Or
a
it's just like-
celeb who shows up to like a red carpet knowing they're going to get their picture taken a million times and is actually trying to pass it off as a real pair.
That's like more towards like it's not like I really want this. I'll never be close to owning it, but I want to see a fraction of how it feels to see this in person. Literally, there's some shoes out there that's how people feel.
Yeah, you won't even
I
get
don't
to see it behind a plexiglass box or a shrink wrap.
right, but a little bit of like get the close up. That's where it kind of goes the other way for me.
Yeah.
So like just like I guess a hypothetical situation, you know, where
Well,
it's
the
like,
hypothetical situation you just said is
No, that's right.
a
No,
good way to
like
contextualize
if there
it.
was say maybe like an NBA player or other sports or whatever who's going through the tunnel and getting their
Knowingly.
picture taken knowingly and wanted to get a pair of like Heineken Dunks, you know, something that they're just like, oh, I'm not going to track it down. I can't find it in my size. It's too much money or whatever. But not as like an inside joke to see where, hey, can I pass these off as real? But like really trying to like deceive the public into thinking that they're like this huge sneaker flex lord.
I would say I would care a little bit more, but still not that much.
Okay.
Yeah. I know people in the comments will care because anytime.
Yeah,
I can't, it's a weird thing because.
I think it's a very interesting subject. 'Cause to me, it goes beyond just the discussion of do you have real or fake shoes on. It's this weird like discussion of like, I guess just like human society as a whole, where it's like, why are we wearing shoes?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, are we doing it for our own internal satisfaction, which is a big part of it, I feel like. But people would be lying if they said that they weren't wearing shoes to some small degree to impress other people.
Absolutely.
How do you guys feel how this relates to fake handbags? That like is such, it's been a thing that I remember being little and like just seeing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing where I just would never be satisfied knowing that I have the fake one. And I don't participate that in the same way that I do in sneakers, so I don't really know what the rules around it and things like that are. I mean, part of the reason why we're so averse to fakes, I think, is because we come from a generation where that was just one of the rules.
If you posted a pair of fakes on Nike Talk back in the day and were trying to pass them off as like the real thing, I think you'd get fried, right?
Yeah.
If you were you aware that they're fakes?
This is the conversation. Me and Brendan actually had this conversation the other day. I feel like one of the biggest differences between today's sneaker world and maybe like
The young
Nike,
people, or at least the people who just got into it. A lot of these people
or
aren't that young,
either
but
or,
they just
I'm
got
just
into
saying,
it,
I'm just
but
saying,
they're on the internet.
yeah, or just like the era of buying shoes because it's like time difference in between. I feel like in 2005, 2006, if you had a fake pair of sneakers, a la like you had a fake Tiffany Dunks, it's almost like you got and didn't know. You know, it's almost like
versus
this.
willingly going.
It's like
out
I
there
went on
spending the money
eBay
on
and
it.
I didn't know that you have to buy these
You
things
were
from
duped.
such
You
and
didn't
such.
know
and,
enough.
Yeah. And, you know, you're like, oh man, I didn't realize I had fakes on.
Yeah.
But nowadays there's this, it's like a total different perspective on fakes where it's like, screw the brand, screw Nike.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay the money and I want to wear these.
That perspective was set up to an extent by the brands,
Yeah.
by Nike largely, for creating this ecosystem. You know, they started the limited edition sneaker thing. They made us want them this much. They kept the supply low, and that's always been a thing. But I think that situation exists in part because of how extreme this sneaker hobby has gotten.
And that's a lot of the feedback that we got from the episode that we did.
And we'll have lots of feedback on this. And
Yeah.
this is just our opinions.
But I do
we're
think,
not trying to judge
I
too
do
much.
think it's interesting though because a lot of people were like, the one thing that they'll say is like, but why do you care what someone else is wearing, right?
Right.
But I think a big percentage of the people who are buying these fake shoes are doing so that you perceive them as someone who wears these like cool hype shoes.
Yeah.
So it's like, which side of the conversation do you want to be on? Because those two things, like, they're very like relatable in the sense where it's like you clearly care because you're just like, hey, I need to wear cool shoes or else people won't think I'm cool, so I can't afford the cool shoes, so I'm going to buy fake versions of the cool shoes. You clearly are very self-conscious about what people
Otherwise, you'd be buying any of the other many shoes out there that are interesting and cool and good looking, but that aren't hype ones that sell out. Because at any given time, there's some cool shoes at
plenty of
JD Sports right now or at Foot
There's
Locker
so
right
many
now.
cool shoes out there that will like get you whatever you want to say, like a cool pass or whatever. Just be presentable to like cool sneakerhead people or whatever. You can go buy a pair of Air Max TNs at JD Sports right now, and people be like, "Dude,
not the cold walls." I just also think if you're totally comfortable with it, then I'm not gonna judge the person.
All right. You know what I'm not wearing?
Socks.
Yeezys.
We have to do
figured we were gonna get to
do the weekly Yeezy news cycle update.
All I see is like Pirate Black. Like they announced that they're going to sell them again, and then all I've seen in the past few days, this colorway, this colorway, this colorway.
People don't really care as much though.
I don't know, because someone, one of my friends who's casually into sneakers was like, Pirate Blacks are coming back out.
And they were excited about it?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that we finally have the confirmation Adidas is going to be selling Yeezys as early as this month. The quote was that a significant amount will be donated to select organizations working to combat discrimination and hate, including racism and anti-Semitism.
I think it was the family members of George Floyd, I believe, ran one of the organizations that the
mentioned in the press release. This is existing designs. They will be sold through Adidas's website and also the Confirmed app. Bjorn Golden said that this is the CEO of Adidas. Selling and donating was a preferred option among all organizations and stakeholders we spoke to. I'm glad this is happening. We've discussed this a million times before, but we just want to give the update. And
you just want to end the loop on it?
Yeah, you know.
Whatever happened with the 15% thing?
That's still an unconfirmed thing as far as I'm concerned. But like I said, I'm still not ready to wear Yeezys. And I kind of like came to the realization of maybe I should just get rid of the ones that I have.
Really?
You know, I kind of feel the same way about the Tom Sachs stuff too right now.Maybe it's being too moralistic or too precious, but I just don't see a future in which I need to wear them a bunch. So I'm fine letting go.
I said it here before. I just think that since we've like kind of moved past Yeezy and some other models, I just think we're talking about a lot more interesting shoes instead of just like the same uniform models every week in and week out. And I'm excited about that new page of the sneaker landscape where, hey, maybe it's not for me, but I think it's cool that on this podcast alone, we talked about in a cold wall Air Max Plus.
I thought you didn't like those.
Hold on, let me finish. It's cool that we talked about in a cold wall Air Max Plus and a J-Tips Saucony grid as two of like the cooler models that are coming out, you know, and it's giving new creators a chance to work on new shoes where it's like instead of the same loop in and out every single week of the same model, different colorway. And I know people are going to say, you wear New Balance, it's always a different shade of the shoe, you know, whatever. But I just want to see new creators get new chances on new shoes. And I feel like just rerunning the Yeezy domination of sneaker culture doesn't really give a chance for that as much.
Although I am interested to see what they said in the press release was that this was existing models and colorways that had already been created and they're rolling those out or produced. I wonder whether or not they will continue this into the future.
Do you think it kicks the door open a little bit?
To me, yes. It's like, well, you know, when they first dropped Ye, they made the comment about how they own all the existing designs and how they could sell them if they wanted to. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was a bit of a test run to see, oh, people are receptive to this. Cool. Let's like run these out there and then in the future run out more. I don't know if that's the case.
I feel like you would continuously need to do the
donation thing.
The charitable donations.
Otherwise, it just looks weird if you did it one time and then walked away from it.
Much even like Yeezy with the foam runners where they're like, hey, these are all going to be made in America. We're going to create this huge industry for domestic manufacturing. And then they did it for one shoe and then it never
panned out.
I feel like the foam runner, this may be a totally inaccurate hot take. I see the foam runner as much as I see the 350s.
I see the foam runners a ton. Actually, that's one. I know I just said I was going to get rid of the Yeezy. I mean, I'm going to get rid of the Yeezys that I haven't worn. I still love the foam runner. I can't.
I see the foam runners all over the place. Again, I see them, I would say,
Still a great
recently
shoe.
as much as the 350s now. They're constantly in the streets.
I liked it, and obviously I liked the first
Colorway,
colorway, because
yeah.
there was an Armenian connection to it. But to me, the issue with that was that they only did whole sizes in the foam runner, and my feet are different sizes, and
Yeah.
like the foam fits kind of weird around your toe, so the 11's just a little off, and then I think a 12 would just be like too.
Yeah, those cut
clunky.
my heel up when I first wore them.
One thing I was noticing, like, how many pairs of sneakers are you getting a week? I feel like you get the most out of all of us.
Do I? Maybe
I
just
think so.
I think maybe I just post.
Always
more
have
often.
it against the wall. You
Yeah,
put,
it's not a cold wall either.
yeah. I feel like
But
you
do you-
get
hey.
you're getting like 2 or 3 a week.
Do you know what?
Right?
Well, it comes and goes. You know, it's
Okay.
like sometimes you'll be like, wow, like 5 pairs of shoes showed up in the past 2 days, and then sometimes you don't get a pair of shoes for a month. But do you know one thing that Joe did get?
That's where I didn't plan the transition, but we should talk about it. Yep. Close the loop on it.
Close the loop or close the list?
Close-
Is the
close
list
the loop.
closed?
I don't know, but I got shouts to DJ Clark Kent, Magdi. Talk to Magdi. I need to meet Magdi.
You never met him in person?
All day. Shouts to All Day. Shouts to. Do we even have to say?
No, we don't. He
Gave
knows.
him enough camera time.
He
enough
knows. He
audio time.
he knows.
You spiked the lens
other guy.
enough?
Abdul,
The other guy.
shouts to
Yeah,
Abdul.
we just move on. We said it.
But yes, I did get the list. Air Force Ones, really, really cool in person. And one thing that I don't know if you knew about this, I think you kind of knew about it.
Yeah.
It comes with a card, so the pairs are mismatched.
Okay.
Did you didn't? I didn't know,
I didn't
about,
know about
this.
this.
And it's weird to me a little bit because I feel like this story isn't out there.
Yeah.
But it comes with a card.
Yeah.
And the pairs are mismatched. And when I got them, I was talking to Abdul and actually my friend Chef Mike. Shouts to Mike from Tao.
Mike A. Yeah.
And he was like, both said, "Are you going to match your pairs?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And I looked into the box and there's a card and it's like, if you send an email to a certain email address, I'd have to look. You could trade to get your match pair with someone who has the same size as you.
So you have the left of one shoe
Yes.
and the right of a different shoe, and the other person has
Oh.
the opposite.
Oh, that's
So
kinda
you can
cool.
And they wanted to,
email and basically find a complete set that is not mismatched.
yes, and you trade with someone, and it was basically
cool.
like for that group, like community based. But I didn't know that.
I like that a lot. Are you going to switch yours?
No, I'm keeping them mismatched.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's cool for people.
I love that part of the rollout.
Yeah, and I feel like I mentioned it because I feel like that wasn't really outwardly said.
Yeah. But it's not a public shoe. It's a
Yeah.
friends and family thing, right? It's not for general consumption.
I guess that's another good example of talking about the rep situation where it's like, if you go and get a reps pair of the list Air Force One,
Which I don't think exists.
well, they're probably gonna be made at some point, you know. But it doesn't kind of. I'm not trying to be like, oh, we're the cool. I don't have the shoes.
Nor I.
Yeah, like some cool guy, girl club. That I have the shoes and you don't. But there was supposed to be some sort of meaning behind the ownership
Yeah.
of the shoe. And you know what's funny? And this is just to tie it all together. It's like half the people who get mad about you for saying that there shouldn't be reps of limited edition shoes are the same people who have NFTs as their profile pictures.
that
They
true?
want.
I don't know. I don't know.
Leave me out of the whenever.
Yeah, this
Whenever
yeah.
this
They wanna-
conversation
wanna
pops
ensure-
up on
Yeah.
whatever social media platform it pops up on,
Hey.
do not engage with me. I'm not part of this conversation.
It's a great conversation.
All right, listen. I think we got a good catch up episode.
Yeah.
And we'll be off next week.
We'll be off next week.
We'll have plenty of catching up to do when we get back. Maybe a little more actual sneaker news to talk about.
Yeah, but we weaved in some sneaker.
Oh.
Past and present.
Can we get your opinion on this real quick?
Me or him?
This is
Well,
not
no,
gonna be
you
sneaker related. I
No,
know
this is
that.
sneaker related, and I feel like Joe could be the source of reason on this. And I don't want to say the retailer's name, but so me and Brendan
Hanging his head here.
both got shipped pairs of sneakers this week, and they came in a metal cage with a lock on it from a retailer. And they said, if you want the shoes, you have to post them online and hashtag us, and we'll send you the code.
No.
I think that's a clever rollout.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Would you, if you got sent something like that, would you post it with the?
I have to. Saying have to is a little.
I mean, I know it's a huge hypothetical situation because there could be a pair of Air Max 95s in there that you like.
That's interesting. You think it's a cool rollout.
Yeah,
it reminds me a little bit of you have to wear the shoes outside the store.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's like...
Wait, do you know what the shoes are?
Yes.
Is it worth hashtag?
I just don't like...
IG sneaker community?
I don't like...
You're going to hashtag IG
like,
sneaker community?
Maybe I just don't like people like forcing you to do something, you know? Where it's like, hey, maybe I'll even wear the shoes like on the podcast or something like that, but to force like to get my social media interaction on it just seems a little weird. But either way.
You're totally fine with it.
I'm fine with it.
I haven't seen you post it. All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Off next week. Enjoy this episode. Go binge some episodes if you missed them. I know there's a lot of catching up to do. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe. We will see you in 2 weeks.